Hello flight simmers, welcome back to the TJ Pilot channel and welcome to the next full flight video. Today we are back in the Dreamliner, which I believe we haven't had on the channel for quite a while now, so I thought it's a good timing to do another Dreamliner flight, and today we are flying the very cool American Airlines livery on the 787-8. But we are on a rather short flight for Dreamliner. We are heading from Miami down to Quito. And I think that's going to be an interesting one. The reason is down at Quito, there is, or in the vicinity of Quito, there is a volcanic eruption. So there's actually a SIGMET out there saying that there is some volcanic ash, and I believe it is fairly close to the airport. I have no idea if it will actually move onto the airport. Then, of course, we are in some trouble and probably need to divert, but I'm very much looking forward. I'm very excited to be accurate here. I'm very excited to see how it's going down there. Of course, we won't see the volcanic ash in the sim, that's for sure. But nevertheless, we can try to be as realistic as possible. And yeah. Okay.
I'm going to be turning base for Chrome intersection on the ILS runway 8 right.
Yeah, sorry, that was fairly loud. We are flying online. That is basically the next thing I want to mention. So we are on VATSIM currently just on Unicom, no local ATC online at the moment. Maybe if we are lucky, we will catch some later on, but we will see about that. So so I've mentioned ATC, I've mentioned the volcanic eruption. What else is there? Yeah, Quito in itself, anyway, very, very cool and special arrival, even without any volcanic eruptions in the vicinity. So I'm very much looking forward to get there. And here at Miami, you can see absolutely beautiful weather. Not a single cloud around. Maybe back there, just a very few. But other than that, beautiful weather here at Miami. So let's jump into the flight deck and start to prepare. Yeah, so here we are on the flight deck. As always, it's a little bit dark. Maybe should we use the dome light? Maybe that's too bright. Nah, let's leave it off. It is just what it is. Yeah, so there's some static microphone going on Unicom. I hope it is disappeared now.
Runway 9 on uniform, taxi negate, Echo Alpha 11 for Miami traffic.
Right, I wonder why it's so loud. I don't remember it being that loud. Never mind. Okay, so route is loaded in. So that's that. American 2163 today. Alternate will be Bogota. Do I enter it here? Or is that just the one that's updated along the way? Maybe, I don't know. Okay. Performance. So 0 fuel at 334.9. That's in pounds, of course. So quite a good payload. Not quite maxed out, but nevertheless very good payload. And then we have reserves of 17.5. Since Bogota is quite a bit away, but I figured Bogota is a sort of realistic alternate for American Airlines. Then we have a cost index of 52 according to SimBrief, and cruise level 390 initially, and step size we can leave at 0, I believe. Right, now there is no wind at all, 0 from 0. Now that's a bit hard to judge, I think. Looking at flight radar, they are currently departing runway 26 left. So let's dial this in, and we will have the Guava 1 departure at the Ursus transition. And yeah, let's go over here. By the way, QualityWings load agent, it's supposed to work very, very well with the US carriers, and I've tried it. It basically gives us a 100% fully loaded aircraft, and I figured the stuff that SimBrief is giving me is a tiny bit more realistic, so I just went with this one. Right, and then we have the charts. Like that, and then of course we can't store it, which is very annoying. Navigraph. But here we are. So we are departing out to the west. It's very messy up here, but yeah, just out to the west, and then Xeno, Kuzi, Hawak, Lonzo, and further way down to the south. There's no top altitude, so I believe we will just go transition 18,000 and initial heading 26 left, climb on heading 272. Right, okay, 272 it is. Other than that, pretty straightforward departure.
Miami traffic here, transit 1877 heavy is inbound on the ILS runway 08 right, Miami traffic.
So he's landing 08 right, but it's hard to judge. No, let's stay with the stuff we have. That's really annoying. Okay, let's get away from Unicom for a moment, since this is really a bit annoying. Right, so that's that. Performance conditions are dry. Okay, now it's 3 knots in here, which is let's see what active sky is having. Yeah, active sky is having 3 knots. Okay, so we have a good runway choice here, 24 degrees. That's all looking good. Optimum. Takeoff weight about 100,000 pounds shy of max takeoff weight, since of course it's a short flight for Dreamliner. Takeoff 2, select temperature 45, that makes a lot of sense. Send it over here, accept. So 45, takeoff 2, let's also go climb 2, should be enough. And yeah, very good, 147 for the speed. Now we are fairly fast, faster than GSX, but nevertheless, let's go ahead and fire up the APU. Seatbelt signs can come to on. And then we just need to wait for GSX to finish the job, and then we are good to go. Alright, boarding is completed, so we will go ahead and close the other doors. Doors are closing. Let's see, APU generators on, so we can disconnect external power as well. And the wheel chocks. Make sure the... Oh, sorry, my bad. Make sure the jetway is disconnected like that. And yeah, okay, so window heats are coming on. Then we have the engine hydraulics, and then the right demand pump, and then the center and the left ones. Fuel pumps, I don't think we have any in the center tank today. This is coming on. And then we have the before start checklist. So MCP is set 147,
No problem, just let me know.
272, and 18,000.
Green light, I definitely will. We'll get some sleep, man. I'll give you a text and we'll get another destination there and get another flight going. Thank you for flying along with us, sir. We appreciate you as well.
Okay. These guys are chatting along. Yeah, speeds 140, 141, 147. Seater pre-flight is completed, and taxi and takeoff.
I appreciate everything tonight.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right, so transponder
Green light actually gave us
TARA, I think, in the US.
I'll be giving you a call tomorrow, good sir.
Right, and okay, then I believe we are good for the pushback. Yeah, so for the pushback, we are sitting here at gate Echo 30. And we need to get a pushback on this dotted line, since the other ones, the solid lines, are just for 757 or smaller. So we have to stay on the center one all the way until back there, and then we can sort of get onto the main taxiway. Right-hand turn, another right-hand turn, and then we will get down to 27 left eventually. Let's see where this guy, I think he just got the pushback. Let's see where he's taxiing. Might be interesting to see Air Canada over there. So there is a bit of traffic going on. Air Transat over there. Right, so let's go for the pushback. And then I probably will need to do a quick edit. Yeah, I think it will work out. So let's go ahead and fire up the engines simultaneously, as always in the Dreamliner. Ooh, what's happening with the thrust levers? Okay, that's better. Right. Okay, so it should be completed any second now. There we are. Okay, two-wheel engine starts. Perfect. Yeah, generators are on anyway, so we can kill the APU. And then we will have trim. Needs to be 4.25. It's at 4.0. 4.25. There it is. This goes RTO. We have flaps 5. Transponder is set. We will do the flight control check. Full left. Well, not quite, as we know it already. Still didn't fix it. But speaking of the flight controls, or rather full left, full right, maybe you guys saw there's a new announcement from Thrustmaster. They are eventually bringing out the yeah, like a real-world 787 yoke and also throttle crosswind, which is at least it looked very, very cool on the pictures. So maybe I will pick it up whenever it's available, and then we have a proper hardware setup for the Dreamliner. That would be absolutely amazing. Right, so that's done. That's done. Well, ground crew is almost out of the picture, so let's go traffic, weather, and traffic. Yeah, also weather, terrain. I mean, terrain at Florida is not really a thing, so it should be fine. Looking good, looking good. Just glancing around. Right, before checks the anti-ice is not required. Recall is checked. Flight controls checked. Ground equipment is clear. Before takeoff checklist is also checked, so this can go away. We will navigation display ACAS, yeah, like this. That's the way. Taxi lights are here. Okay, so now let's get on the frequency. Miami traffic, American 2163 heavy, taxiing for runway 26 left. Right, so let's go. Yeah, picking up speed automatically, of course, on idle power. Yeah, now we need to stay on the non-solid, on the dotted line or dashed line. All right, guys. So here we are. Yeah, basically good to line up. So let's put on the strobes, landing lights.
Traffic, American 932, holding short runway 8 right, traffic.
Okay, there's a very nice guy waiting for us. Cool. Miami traffic, American 2163 heavy, departing runway 27 left, Miami traffic. Correction, 26 left, Miami traffic. Sorry, wrong one. Okay, but looking all good so far. Cool, so clear runway ahead, weather's still absolutely beautiful. So good to rock and roll, I would say. I hope I haven't missed anything, but I think we should be all set. Right. He's holding shot of the runway, very nice guy. Okay, so let's do it. Power coming up. And takeoff. As always, super silent engines. yeah, a lot of derate. We can yeah, we can also see it on the N1 display. There's much more room for these engines. And rotate. Nice and slow rotation. Airborne gears coming up. Okay, flight director is very demanding. Ah, beautiful stuff. Awesome. Yeah, now it's a slight left-hand turn, that's right. Not too much though.
Miami traffic, American Eagle 9282, lining up runway 8 right, Miami traffic.
Okay, and that's acceleration, altitude, climb power. And yeah, let's use the autopilot. Okay, no slides, taxi lights. Very, very nice day here at Miami. Just checking if we have weather and turbulence set. How does it work? Weather, yeah, looking good. Okay, cool. So, flaps 1. Get the checklist out for, yeah, before takeoff. We did that earlier. Okay, and flaps up.
Miami traffic, American Eagle 9282, taking off runway 8 right, Miami traffic.
All right, after takeoff checklist completed, and yeah, where is it? I like that. Okay, cool. All right, so I would say enjoy the cruise, and then we will meet over at Quito. Hello flight summers, welcome back to the flight deck. Yeah, it seems like we're back very early, 25,000 feet, but don't be fooled. The airport is rather high at, yeah, runway is at almost 8,000 feet in elevation, so now we are realistically only 18,000 above the ground, and there's a few things to talk about. So, yeah, maybe just to kick off, back in Miami, I've told you about the volcanic action going on here, and what I did, I looked at the SIGMET and I made 2 fixes in here. So that's at 77 degrees west. That's where the volcanic eruption is roundabout, and it's pushing towards the west, so towards our direction, but it's not past 78 degrees west. So on this side where the airport in our approach is, we are fine, but we don't really want to go past this point towards the east. Then we might run into that volcanic ash somewhere. Right, maybe we should put the seatbelt signs on now, since we are really getting down there. And yeah, then a second interesting thing is the weather. Let's let's get a new weather. So weather request, and then we have Sierra Echo Quebec Mike, and yeah, we could get it from Active Sky or VATSIM, doesn't make any difference, it should be the same. So we have oh, is it shifted now? Is it now really going the other way? Let's try this again. That's super weird. Let's get it from VATSIM. Yeah, I had this one earlier. Okay, so wind 3 knots from 330. We are landing towards the north on runway 36, and visibility is not that good, so 6 kilometers. BCFG, that's banks of fog and clouds as low as 200 feet above ground level. 14 degrees 1030. By the way, we can go there. And yeah, that's, to be honest, that's not the very best conditions to have for this approach, since you all know this approach is rather tricky. And yeah, so visibility might be very low. This is the arrival chart. Interestingly, this is slightly different from my Navigraph chart, and I rather trust Navigraph. So, I mean, the approach is the same. We are coming in from the north and then doing a loop around a 9-mile arc from Quebec Sierra Victor VOR and then onto the ILS, which is a 3.2 degree glide. And on my Navigraph charts it says we have a Cat 2 ILS available, so we could set minimums as low as 130 radio, so that's 130 feet above the ground. And that's what I did. So yeah, that's in terms of weather, also not too great. And now look at this, really coming into this terrain. Unfortunately, it's very cloudy, and I feel like now we want to slow down. I think there's anyway speed constraint in there somewhere. Let's see. Yeah, so 180 knots coming up, so let's slow down eventually. And then we might want to use some speed brakes as well. And also, I'm just looking out, since earlier on there was also some traffic around. He should come up on the radar, I think. Yeah, okay. Oh, 18,000. We need to descend further. Yeah, now we need some speed brakes as well. Coming in a bit high. Right, so yeah, auto brake 2. Let's slow down first. Let's slow down first, and let's see what altitude we want to set on the autopilot. Is 10,500. That's our glide slope interception. Maybe that's a lot. Something like this. Right, and some checklists. Altimeters are set 1030. Next up, we'll be landing in a bit. Just I can't see the traffic on the radar, which is a bit weird. Would be kind of cool to see it. Since I'm not quite sure what he's up to. Okay, flaps 1. Okay, he's in front of us. He's already, yeah, I think he's touched down already. Okay, now we're coming up in the touch high. Ideally we want to be a tiny bit lower than that right now. Flaps 5. I think we can also go ahead and pop on the landing lights. And let's go flap 15 and then we are good. For the moment at least. Yeah, so it's it might actually become a tricky landing here, that very low visibility. Let's see. Okay, now I think we can go back to VNAV, yeah, speed 180. And we're also back on the profile, very good. It's so scary flying into these clouds when you know that all this terrain is around. Look at this, we are already below this mountain. Crazy stuff. It's just the terrain is so bright on the display, that's why I don't really like to have it up. But it is rather scary. Right, what else do we need to talk about? Go around, we will climb to 18,000 eventually. Okay, 16 miles out. Yeah, but now the aircraft is doing a good job. Oh, we still have the speed brakes out. Sorry. Speed brakes armed. Yeah, so speed 140. Yeah, I'm going for the lower one. Usually I would now land it at flap 25, but with this possibly reduced visibility, it's kind of good to be as slow as possible. So final approach 145 it's gonna be. Do we want to use the head-up? Yeah, maybe it's a good idea for these conditions. Okay, 14 miles out. It's getting real now. Okay, 11 miles out and we are set on a speed of 170 and that's quite good, and also just a touch below the glide slope. That's quite perfect. I think we can arm the localizer. There it is, captured. And let's do a quick call. Quito traffic, American 2163 heavy, 9 mile final, ILS runway 36. Right. Okay, approach mode. 8 mile final. Ah, there we can see the airport. Okay, seems like there's currently no fog above the airfield. That's very good. Let's drop the gear. And start to reduce the speed, 145. Now this is coming to 18,000, go around altitude. 25. And flap full. Landing checklist completed. And okay, we have a nice visual on the airfield. That's absolutely better than expected. Okay, so here we go, my aircraft. We will leave the auto throttle in. It's an absolutely stunning arrival.
1,000.
Okay, but conditions are definitely better than expected. I think if I remember correctly, we did this approach only once before that, in a was it a 747? I think so. But quite some time ago already. It's so easy with the HUD to stay on the ILS profile. Terrain around here is absolutely out of this world.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And flare and touchdown. Yeah, I think around 300 feet per minute, but that's quite alright. I'll reverse. And idle forward, manual braking. Nice, okay, that was a good one. I'm absolutely happy with that one. Okay, where's the next exit? Maybe I should have tried to go for the earlier one. Okay, now we will exit on Alpha 3. Cool, so quick cleanup. And setting some lights. But I think we haven't yet departed out of this airport, right? Maybe we should really try to do it soon. TA only. Okay, big left-hand turn and then we can set up GSX. Yeah, so landing was not exactly a cruiser, but the approach was very stable, and I think a touchdown rate of 300 feet per minute is, I think it's firm, but it's not like smashing it into the ground. So I'm quite happy with that. Okay, now looking for the gates, something like 11, 12, 13, around that range would be good. So let's see what we have. Gate 14, heavy, perfect. Alright, right-hand turn down on Juliet. And apparently the Martin Air 747 is still on the final, so I don't know if he did a go-around or something like that. Because when I checked earlier, he was already on the final. Yeah, and gate is just over there. Perfect. Okay, APU is available. So let's kill turn-off and taxi lights. Okay, and last turn of the day. Let's see how it works. Okay, apparently no docking system here. But lots of signs on the ground, lots of markings, so let's check outside. Okay, apparently no 787 here, let's go 777 then. Ooh, a bit too far. Okay, never mind. Parking brake, APU is running, so killing engines 1 and 2. Very good. 3 hours 41. And seatbelts and beacons and hydraulics and window heats. Okay, looking good. Deboarding, please. Can also go to the second door. Right, and then we have the external power, and then we can kill the APU. And let's see, checklist, shutdown checklist, everything done. Parking brake, I'm going to leave it on for GSX, otherwise it will kill me again. This is going to standby. All looking good. Alright, so welcome once again to Quito. Very, very nice arrival here into this airport as always. And fortunately it wasn't quite that bad as we expected on the arrival, so weather was quite alright. And now back there is also the Martin Air Cargo. Also arrived down here, very, very nice. Yeah, nice scenery, nice setup, nice terrain. Just a nice flight, I would say. And yeah, so as always, feel free to comment below or leave a like. That would also be absolutely cool. And other than that, take good care. See you next time. Bye bye.